Rhonda, are you ready for your 10 questions?
Yes, I am.
Here we go. Question number 1. If you had to choose between the two, which would you pick? Batman's utility belt or a fanny pack?
Batman's utility belt or a fanny pack? I'm going to go with the fanny pack because I can load it with stuff that I think I'll need, like my cell phone and other things. I don't know what's on Batman's utility belt. We didn't have cell phones
Nothing.
when his utility belt was created, and I need my cell phone.
Right? Well, okay, so the utility belt comes empty, the fanny pack comes empty. So technically, there's got to be some slot in there you could just slide the phone in. you would
Gotcha.
think.
Okay, but a
Would
fanny
that
pack I
change
can put
anything for
snacks
you?
in. I gotta have some snacks.
Ah! Fanny pack.
I like
Check.
peanut M&Ms.
Right? All right, here we go. Question number 2. What is your favorite movie?
That is so hard. I have a lot of favorite movies in different genres, but I will say I love Dead Poet Society with Robin Williams.
Ooh.
It's just inspirational. I like those kind of movies. The Rudy, the Dead Poet Society, I like the Triumph of the Human Spirit type movies.
Okay, so speaking of that, question number 3. What is your favorite quote?
Oh, listen, I'm a quote junkie. I mean, literally a book and a quote junkie. And I have what I call quake quotes. Quotes that just shake you at your core. And there's so many of them. The quote that I've been repeating to myself most recently. It's a quote that I've loved for a long time. It's by the poet and author Audre Lorde, and it says, "Your silence will not protect you." And I think given all that happened and the change and transformation that our community and our country is going through, I kept trying to figure out, I was like, what's my place? What do I do? How do I fit in? And all I kept hearing is, "Your silence will not protect you."
That is a Quake quote.
That's a quake quote.
Question number 4. What is the best advice you have ever received?
The best advice I've ever received, similar to the quake quote I just gave, it's live and speak your truth. No matter what, in the face of danger, and just be courageous enough to live and speak your truth.
Where did you hear that?
Oh my God, I'm trying to think. I've heard it multiple times, but I think the first person that told me that was when I was in college. I'm trying to remember if I was in college or high school. I think I might have been in college. And I think it was the head of the English department, Dr. Thomas, who told me that. Because she told me I was such a great writer, and I would be like, no, I can't, and I don't want to put it out there, and I don't want to, share my writing. Shout out to Dr. Maggie Thomas.
Yeah, that's good. All right, so we're gonna take it back a little further. What was your favorite childhood toy?
I do remember because I was a book nerd and stuff. I was like a real sort of introverted child, believe it or not. But I loved actually riding my bike. I remember getting bikes for Christmas like every other year. Because every time I'd outgrow them, I'd keep asking for one. So even though a bike is not a toy, it was the thing I spent the most time doing. I would ride bikes like crazy. I ride my bike like crazy. The bike represented like freedom and adventure for me. I see now. I can connect the dots and see why I was like into the bike thing.
Yeah,
back then. Yeah, I'd play indoors for a little while, but I had to be free. The bike kind of let me explore.
Next question. As a kid, what did you want to be when you grew up?
Okay, I didn't have the language for it, but I was always fascinated with crime shows, law and order type stuff or whatever. So my family immediately was like, okay, you're going to be a lawyer. And so I went with that. And then I would say right around my teenage years, I can't remember what I was reading or looking at, and I got this whole notion about behavioral science and criminal profiling, and I would read books on like criminal profiling and investigative stories and stuff. It's crazy. So I said that's what I wanted to do. I was like, I want to work and try to figure out what makes people tick. I was just drawn to that because I saw it mostly represented on TV from like a law enforcement perspective. That's what I wanted to be. I wanted to be like a forensic psychologist or something.
Question number 7. What brings you joy?
Oh God, that's such a great question, actually, Jeff.
Thank you.
Because The shallow part of me wants to say a good meal and a glass of wine, but that's trend.
Yes.
That's transient, and that brings pounds. So right now, I would say I am so, especially last year with what we've been through. I really got a chance to reconnect with friends and family and reestablish some relationships. And those relationships bring me the greatest joy. I mean, that was really one of the benefits of the pandemic. It's reconnecting with people on a much deeper level because it felt like we were all living our lives and we knew each other, but it felt very superficial because we were all just kind of
Yeah.
moving at breakneck pace. That really brings me joy, the opportunity to um, really have those authentic, genuine relationships now.
So then let's flip it. What brings you dread?
Personally, what brings me dread is feeling like I'm not living up to my full potential. It's feeling like that I am not contributing and I'm not adding value and making a difference in a real impactful way that I believe I could. It also brings me dread to see that with other people. If I want it for myself, I do. I want it for myself and primarily so that I can be a light, so that I can be an example for other people. Because I think that a lot of what we experience and our fears and our divisions and trepidations come from people having sort of those internal suppressions of not being able to express who they really are and contribute in a way that adds value. So I want that for myself, and I dread when I feel like I'm not doing it, and I dread when I see other people who I'm not doing it either.
So speaking of potential, what is one thing that you want to accomplish but you cannot do on your own?
I would definitely say that the impact that I want to have on the world is definitely one. It's so big in my mind. It's going to take beyond the village. Like because my impact, I believe, include writing books and building an audience around what we just talked about, the whole developing untapped potential, and that may look like a podcast. And I have all these different mediums which I feel like I can get the message out. And you need a community of people to do that. Even in my day-to-day work, I'm so relational and relationship based. There's not much I do. The only thing that I haven't been able to find a way to have people really help me do is go exercise for me and lose weight. But I do have a personal trainer, so I don't even do that alone.
All right, we're going to wrap up with one last question. Question number 10.
Question the Big 10, okay?
What do you hope people say about you after you are gone?
It's not even so much as what I want them to say, it's what I want them to live out and be. I hope that my life is a light that shines into and pours into as many people as possible. That's what I want my legacy to be. It's however I can make people greater than myself. So I would want people to say that I generously gave of myself to help as many people as I could be as great as they could be.
Rhonda, thank you so much for your time today.
Oh, thank you.